Seems like Plarium decided to change the game, turn it up more than a notch, and is this the future of Fragment event and fusions in Raid Shadow Legends? Seems like we've got another fusion impossible coming to Raid Shadow Legends, and guess what? This one is not featuring Tom Cruise, it's actually featuring Plarium and the players. Now the reason why I'm saying it, guys, a few days ago they announced a new Fragment event, a new champion legendary from the High Elves, and is Islin Strategos. Now, I do think he's a fusion impossible because I'm going to show you the fusion calendar in just a second. First, I do want to say a couple of things. So, as a champion, this one is pretty good as a champion, right? You can use him in Hydra, he fills a lot of roles for it. And I think initially, I thought that he's going to be a better mischief target just because of all the things in his kit. But the problem is, this is on a 4-turn cooldown. You need to have increased speed, decreased speed to kind of like keep up the step with what's happening in the fight, you know? And he might not be the perfect mischief target just because of the long cooldown. Then his base stats are actually pretty good, almost 20k HP. We have a 1.5k defense, as you may see right here on the screen. Decent speed, decent resistance to start with, 10 accuracy to help you out. And it's not a bad champion. It's not a champion that I would say skip it because he's trash, you know? But I will say skip it because we need to regroup. Now, I know a lot of people that are free to play low spenders are constantly kind of like a bit pressure with the fusions. You know, I gotta do it. And you're constantly on the game trying to maximize everything that you're doing to preserve all the resources. And I feel like it's kind of like taking away the fun from the game, right? Because it almost feels like, I gotta do it. It's stressful, right? I feel like a lot of people are in this situation, and especially with the last fusion where everything got inflated in terms of points for events, and it was much harder than a regular fusion. So I feel like this again will be another fusion impossible. So if we're gonna head over to the news right here, guys, get away with the packs, we don't want them today. You go right here, we have the Fragment event, and if you're clicking on details, they're gonna take you to their website where you're gonna be able to see the fusion calendar. And I'm not a math genius or anything like that, but basically it's pretty straightforward. So let me just make this full screen, sorry. You're able to get a total of 130 fragments. Now, if I'm not mistaken, every other fusion Fragment event before used to offer 150 fragments. So it seems like we're getting 20 less fragments, which is a problem, right? Because it's making it harder for us to acquire all those fragments. We cannot skip specific events, etc. And not only that, but it means that we have to complete both of the summoning events. The Champion Chase Tournament and the Summon Rush. So right here, we're getting 55 fragments from tournaments. We're getting 20 from tournament leaderboards. Now this is another thing. That means that we might not be getting any of them from the Dragon Tournament, the Ice Golem, the Fire Knight, the Spider, which used to give us 20 more fragments. So just looking at it, that's where our fragments are. Basically, they're missing. We're not getting any from these tournaments. You are getting 10 extra if you are placing high in the Champion Training Tournament, which is very unlikely considering how many whales there are in the game, and every group is going to be pretty hard. Then the Champion Chase Tournament will give you 10 more fragments if you win rank 1, 2 probably. So again, it becomes really, really hard. You need to summon a lot in order to do that. So let's just say none of us will place in top 3 to earn extra fragments. That leaves us with exactly 110 fragments. 5 of them coming from the Fire Knight Tournament starting on Thursday, which is today. We have the Champion Training Tournament starting today. Then we have an Artifact Enhancement event starting today. I would suggest you wait with the Fire Knight Tournament, wait with the Champion Training Tournament till tomorrow if you are going for the fusion, because that's when the Dungeon Diver event starts and you want to maximize everything. Then of course we're going to have a Summon Rush tomorrow, which gives us 15 points. Now, it's going to be hard because we need to complete the Summon Rush. Usually it takes you 8 to 10 Sacreds to get all the fragments from there. Now, if we are acquiring the fragments from the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase Tournament, we might be able to skip 1 or 2 different Dungeon Diver events or Artifact Enhancement events, but that means that we need to have a lot of shards to summon, and that's where the problem comes. That's where the Fusion Impossible comes, because who has many shards left? Like, I know people participate in whatever events they want, but it's so hard to keep up the step with the fusions, basically, because you need a lot of shards to summon in each one of them, and it's pretty hard, man. It's pretty hard. So I don't know what to say about this fusion, guys. Then, of course, we're gonna have 3 different artifact enhancement events. We're gonna have 3 different dungeon divers, and we're gonna have only 2 classic arena takedowns. I would like if they remove one of the artifact enhancement or the dungeon divers and bring in 3 classic arena takedowns instead, because that all around would make it a bit more friendly for people. You don't need to spend so much silver, but roughly you're gonna need around 45 million silver to complete all the 3 artifact enhancement events. And if you are looking, for example, at the new tournament that we have for the Fire Knight, we can see how many points we need for this one, because it's usually a surprise. It changes all the time. The champion training tournament is on, so we can check that as well. So this is standard, 2,250 points. You're roughly gonna need 2,500 energy to get this, maybe 3,000, depending what stage you're farming, you know, stage 20, 25, or you're farming hard mode. So you're getting 5 fragments from here. In the champion training tournament, you need to get to 5,000 points to get the 5 fragments, and then 3,000 points to get the other milestones. So it seems like they've split it in 2 milestones. I feel like they're gonna do the same for the Summon Rush, and they're gonna do the same for the Champion Chase tournament, making it a bit harder. And the main thing with the fragments is so easy to miss one event from mistake and then have the fusion gone, basically. You know, like, you're not gonna be able to get the missing fragments. And this is the rank 1 and rank 2 people that are getting fragments from here, you know. Going back to the calendar right here, guys. So roughly you're gonna need 10,000 energy for all the 4 tournaments, without counting the champion training event and champion training tournament, and without counting the dungeon diver events, which were so freaking hard on the last fusion. Like, you needed to do so many extra runs for each one of them, which was out of the bracket for the other tournaments, because you already completed the tournament. So it was basically a waste of points, but only because of the dungeon divers, which required you to reach 4 to 5k points, man. So that's literally 2 tournaments in one dungeon diver event in order to get the fragments or whatever you guys needed for the last fusion. So tons of energy, roughly 20 plus k energy, 25k energy maybe to be at the safe spot. But of course, you don't have to have all that prepared. Have a few gems, around 1,000, 2,000 gems probably, to be in a safe spot. The main issue is going to be the shards, you know. And I feel like you're gonna need roughly 8 to 10 sacreds. The ancients are amazing for the champion chase tournaments. Voids and sacreds are great for the summon rush because they give a bigger amount of points, you know. For the champion chase tournaments, you can do a fusion, you can do some other things. We don't have any epics involved in this fusion, so you cannot get extra points for fusing them, like I showed you in previous videos. So I don't think it's gonna be a nice one. So that's why I'm saying, guys, time to regroup. If you are unsure of your capability to complete this fusion because you're not a whale, I would suggest you take it easy, relax, save resources, regroup. Maybe the next fusion will be better and you're gonna feel more pressured into doing that. Hell, maybe the next fusion will be crap and we're not gonna do it and save even more resources for the next fusion. That's the name of the game. Wait, Shadow Legends. Save resources and use them wisely at the right moment. That's my advice that I can offer you guys today. And yes, I do think it's gonna be a pretty hard fusion, and I wouldn't recommend you guys to stress about it because it's not a champion that will completely change the game, you know. Is a good champion. I wouldn't suggest you to skip it because he's a trash champion, because that would be a lie. But I feel like the fusion is pretty hard, and considering what we had in the past with the last 2 fusions, which were fairly hard, I don't know what to say. If this is kind of like how they're planning to do it in the future, that means that we definitely need to be better prepared for the next ones. That was all for the video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.